Well, good day everybody. Welcome back to the High Desert Garden. This might actually be my last video at this location. If you've been following the channel in my last video, you know that I told you guys that we were listing the property for sale. And we had a ton of people come through here and look at it. We probably had 20-25 showings of the property, and somebody finally looked at it and they stayed 45 minutes just kind of admiring our home. Of course, we leave the property when people are looking at it, but we came back 20 minutes later thinking they'd be gone, because usually people are gone by then. And then they were still here. So we left for another 25 minutes and we came back and they were still here. And it was kind of a good thing because they had some questions for us anyway. But it's an all-cash sale, so there shouldn't be any problems with it. They wanted us out quickly, so they offered us what we're asking for in return. So I'm scrambling to get a place to live. I think I've got a place. I've got a couple places to consider. One I want more than the other, obviously. And so for a while, we're probably going to rent a place, but if we find a good deal on a property, then we'll go for it. And I don't know what kind of property it's going to be yet, but whatever it is, it'll definitely have a nice yard or land, because I want to continue to be able to do the channel for you guys, but also for us. That's what I want. I really enjoy growing the food and just having fun in the garden every summer. You know, all the tomatoes we grow and the tomato soup that I make, it's just fantastic and so good for your health and everything. So even though the place that we're going to be moving into here very shortly, you know, is going to be a rental, and so I probably won't have much of an outdoor garden. I will still be making videos on the topics of gardening. I'm going to be very busy for the next several weeks, obviously, as we go through this transition, but I will make videos as soon as I can, because I know how important it is that, you know, I'm able to, you know, help you guys out and bring some videos and stuff like that. So I'm gonna just quickly show you how we're leaving the garden. I know it's pretty sad to think about that, you know, we're not gonna be able to benefit from this garden anymore, but I wanna show you guys what we got going on out here. So I'm just gonna quickly, so I'm pretty sure that I'll be taking this pink lemon. It's a variegated leaf pink lemon tree. I don't know how easy it is going to be to come across another one of these if I get rid of this one. So I'm going to try to take this one with us. This is a kumquat tree, which, you know, they're not hard to find. So I don't know if I'm going to take that with us. We have the pomegranates that we started from seed. If you guys are following this channel, I know that's important to you guys, so I'll probably take that. This is a limequat. It's not very big, so I'll probably take that. This is just a navel orange tree. And here, I would be really sad to lose this, especially when it's putting out some very nice grapefruits. This is the Oro Blanco grapefruit tree, and it has 3 grapefruits on it. I pruned the others off because I wanted the tree to be able to just concentrate on a few. It's not as healthy and big as I like it, so I don't want it, you know, having a lot of fruit. This is a Meyer lemon. It is fairly small, so we'll probably take that. I will take this green Ischia fig tree, because it's the only one that I have and it's quite small. I do have the 2 Villa de Bordeaux. This is the bigger fig tree. We had some struggles with it over the winter, and here is a cutting from this tree. So I think I'm going to keep the cutting, and I'll I'll train this up, and I'll probably leave the larger fig tree here. Okay, so we're out in the garden now. I did recently plant the pepper plants, and the pepper plants are doing pretty well. I mean, they're obviously transitioning, as you can see. I've removed the fruit from most of them because when you take them from the bucket and transplant them in the soil, they always go through this transitional phase. So the habaneros produce pretty well. I actually just picked some fruit off the habanero, and if we take a look at the tomatoes, boy, the tomato plants, they're doing so fantastic. This year I lightened up the soil. I loosened up the soil quite a bit by actually adding a bag of peat moss in here and really mixing it in, because the soil was too dense, wasn't light enough, and the tomato plants, as you can see, are just loving it. I have a humongous tomato there, and another thing that I'm really happy about but sort of sad about, because I'm going to be leaving these tomatoes, is I had several pink oxheart plants that just did fantastic this year. This has to be one of my best gardening years yet, as far as how many tomatoes I have out here. This is 20 plants. I've never had 20 plants in this space before. I think last year I had somewhere between 16 and 18 plants, and they are doing really, really well. So this was kale from last year. If you know about kale, kale only goes to seed every 2 years. So this was the year for me to let my kale go to seed. These are kale plants that survived the winter and came back and are producing seed. So I definitely will take some seeds from here when we go, but there are literally millions of seeds. There are these, they kind of look like green beans, but there are these bean pockets, and these are all full of seeds, and there are thousands of these bean pockets. So tens of thousands of kale seed. We probably won't have time to let the lettuce go to seed, so we may not get any lettuce seed before we have to move out. The perennial bed, these strawberries, did fantastic. Whenever I get another perennial bed, I'll be sure to fertilize them with the organic fertilizer the way that I did this one, because they really enjoyed it. Down here, the blueberry, this blueberry bush did really, really well. We have lots of blueberries coming on this bush. I'm gonna have to leave a ginormous pile of compost. This is about 90% of the way done. It would be nearly all the way done, but I just mixed some more grass clippings and stuff in there. Somebody is gonna get a lot of Jerusalem artichokes. I may dig some of the rhizomes up. In fact, I will, because those are not easy to come by. I know you can order them online and stuff like that, but you know, if you have them available, you might as well take them. All right, guys, so that's about it. I didn't plant any potatoes this year or anything because, you know, I had plans to sell the place. You know, I wasn't quite sure if we were going to get what we wanted for the house, so I did have plans to, you know, maybe list the house next year, but you never know when the bubble is going to pop. You know, when the houses around here are going for $300,000, $400,000, you know, this is an area where a lot of transplants like to come from California. But as far as the work that's available around here, don't get me wrong, there's good work, but you know, it doesn't pay the greatest, and so I don't really see how all of the people in this area are gonna afford rental prices and especially buying of homes. So at some point there's a correction in the market, and I'm hoping that sooner rather than later, obviously, because we just sold our house. And as I said earlier, I'm really looking forward to continuing the channel and having more time. You know, I spend a lot of time, you know, doing things around the property to make it better, to make it nicer. And I realize that I'm gonna have to do that again when we get a new place. But anyway, I will have a lot more free time once we get moved and once we're in a rental, because I won't be putting a lot of work into a rental, obviously. So as always, I want to encourage you guys to grow organic, eat organic, so you can be organic.